Okay. Welcome back, you guys. Sorry we missed yesterday. It is Monday. It is needle felting day. We are picking back up with our project. We are needle felting along with Bob Ross's Joy of Painting Season 3. We are working on episode 12. We're almost done episode 12. We're getting there. We have tweaked it a little bit to work a little bit better with our medium, because fluff doesn't quite cooperate the same way as paint does. So sometimes we have to get a little bit creative and make some adjustments. But here we are. And we have a link pinned in the chat that will take you to the tutorial in full from Mr. Bob Ross himself over on his YouTube page. For anyone that wants to watch it in full without interruptions, we have it currently muted in the bottom corner. I do have subtitles on that one. And we're gonna pick up where we left off, and where we left off was putting the grass in down here on this side. We have to finish that. We have a tree that still needs to come in here, and we have some shrubbery that needs to hang out over here, and we'll see how that goes. I'm still a little undecided on how I'm gonna handle that. We'll see how that goes. I might kind of try to mirror what we did over here. We'll figure it out. Don't know if we're gonna need water today, but if my fingers would stop being quite so fumbly. Thank you. There we go. We'll slide that up there. Alright. So again, sorry about yesterday. I know I canceled rather last minute, like 10 minutes before we were scheduled to go live. I do try to give a little bit more notice than that. I had a rough night with sensory fun and my pillow, and I got hardly any sleep, and the day ended up with an emergency pillow purchase that I did not want to spend the money on, for it was a very expensive emergency pillow purchase. I'm now the proud owner of the most expensive pillow I have ever owned in my entire life. Yay. And I was really upset about having to spend that money, but I need to be able to sleep, right? And it had to be done. We had been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. We're just grabbing our green mixture here to get another round of grass, and I'm hoping I'm grabbing the right greens. I don't think this is the right green. I think it's this green. looks a little bit more like I was expecting it to. Alright. I think we will need the water. I thought we'd be a little bit more friction-y today. Surprise. We're supposed to get some weather later. Hopefully we won't have any power interruptions. We are going to be getting a small piece of that I don't know if it's been classified as a tropical depression yet or what, but that lovely storm barrel, which seems so weird for me to say because it reminds me of Queen Beryl from Sailor Moon, right? That was the villain there. So it feels really weird saying that. At least for me it does. Alright, so don't know if we will get done today. I was hoping that we would be wrapping it up today, but that is not going to be the case. I did get that dowel painted after all that trouble on Saturday of making sure we got that ready. And then life is like, hey, you know what we're not gonna do on Sunday? We're not gonna stream. And I'm like, but no, we need to stream. But my body was very much like, yeah, no. Alright, so I'm gonna make the grasses down here a little bit longer. And it's probably gonna take over our last bush there. We're down here along the bottom edge. So if we don't finish it today, that means we'll be finishing next Sunday. And that's probably what will end up happening, because we still have a tree, 3 more bushes, and grass to put in over here. I know we got started a little bit early today. However, I don't think we'll have quite enough time to get everything accomplished here. I really didn't get much of anything accomplished yesterday. But on top of everything, then my neck flared up and I'm like, excuse me, it's just like, oh no. Whoop. So any hope of getting anything done was just kind of tossed out the window at that point. I did get about a half hour of video edited. I wanted to get a bit more. No, actually it was about 40 minutes. I did want to get a bit more, but my attention span was struggling with the way my neck was clenching, so I was like, yeah, we're just gonna give this up. And then the dog was mad at me. One of the dogs was mad at me for not going to bed yet. Even though he doesn't sleep with me, I guess I was disturbing him. Heck of a thing when your dog tells you when you have to go to bed. I'm like, doggy, you don't understand. This is when we have to get shit done. But he wasn't having it. Got my paint markers in for an upcoming stream. We'll see how they go. They're probably not the best quality paint markers, but I didn't want to get something super expensive that we might not use that much of on stream, but for a test on it, I was like, okay. I was willing to spend that on a testing, and the reviews didn't seem too bad on it. We'll see how it goes. They were very specific that they had to be stored horizontally, and I'm like, okay, like warning after warning after warning. So I guess they leak, or it might cause the paint to drain out of one of the ends because they're dual tip. But I did find that fascinating. I was like, okay. Gotcha. But fortunately, they had a very, very cheap pencil box, under $1, at Walmart when we were there because they're starting to put out their school supplies. And I was like, you know what? I think I might need this for something. And then Russell's like, oh, those paint pens you guys got? And I'm like, hey, yeah, we'll do that. I also got a pencil bag too, just in case. They were both 97 cents. I was like, it won't hurt to have it. Worst comes to worst, I can put some art supplies in it for when we go away. Alright, now, so we don't have these trees hanging out over here. So we have to figure out how we want to do this next shrub. So let's see, let's start you about there. And let's see where we go. Let's just see. See where it takes us. What's the fiber want to do on this one? So hope everybody's Monday is off to a good start. Your week's off to a good start. We are actually under a flood watch or something, because they're expecting us to get a bit of rain. Windows 11 thinks it's going to start raining in like 2.5 hours. I don't know about that. We'll see. It's starting to rain just to our south. Like within an hour's drive of us. We'll see. Alright, let's get a little bit more of this color here. Sorry, allergies are still a bit of a problem. Probably always will be. Alright, so maybe we go just 2 more skinny appendages coming off of this guy. And we'll see how things go here. Alright, maybe one more coming off this way, just to help balance them out here. And then we'll be looking pretty good. Got caught up in my wire. Okay. Shaping our fluff here. The new replacement or maybe just additional paintbrushes I think are supposed to show up tomorrow. Hopefully that's still going to be the case. I'd prefer them show up today, but hopefully they'll be here tomorrow. And we can get an extra stream in. Or at the very least I can get a recording done. I'd like to get a recording done. Gonna have to pause what I am currently editing and get the 2 recordings I have so far cut down, but those aren't that long, so that might take me like 2 or 3 days. Okay, so this was the light green and the mustard. So let's see what we can do here. No, you stay over there. Camera's up really high. Or really low, maybe. Maybe it's really low. That's a little better. Okay. Oh, and then I'm gonna have to do the focus. It's not too bad. It's gonna look a little fuzzy because it's fluff. We've got fluff everywhere. Where don't we have fluff? Going to have to make some time this week to refill our fluff bags. I mean, I'd really like to just fluff the entire ball of yarn, but I don't have that much storage for it fluffed. I would probably have to switch to gallon Ziploc bags. And I don't know if that's quite practical, because I just don't think I have enough hanging room to do gallon bags. Maybe if I got all the air out of them, but I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Alright, so we're just going to grab little sections of fluff at a time. I want a little bit of that dark kind of showing through there. Like, not all of it needs to. But I'd like to preserve a little bit of it. I mean, we did go to all the trouble of putting it in there. To check on the paintings in the drying box this week. One of them might be close to being ready for magnets, but I'm not 100% sure. Last time I checked on it, the very, very rim was still a little iffy. It was still leaving some smudges on my fingers. Alright. See if we Get this last guy. Or if he's gonna need two. He might need two. So we'll get this one worked into here. Yeah, I think we'll need one more there. Just a small guy. Just a small guy. Hope everybody had a good week last week. And that you've got some stuff planned that you want to do this summer. Okay, now we have one more color. We need to lay in on that. Which mustard was it? It was this one. Okay. Try not to go too overboard with this color. Just want a little bit of it in there. So just some little touches. Not too worried what the bottom of our shrub looks like here because we're gonna have some grassy bits coming up over it, so it shouldn't really be too much of a problem for how it's all connected at the base of it. that one kind of worked in there. And maybe one or two more to round out this guy. Of course, I need to get our recycling out, and it's going to be storming the next couple of days. We might not be putting it out this week. I might just have to cope with it overflowing in the kitchen for a couple of days. Okay, so we've got that one in. Let's see if we can get this guy in here. As best as we can. Okay. Now, let's see. Do I want to go all the way across first, or do I just want to kind of build up? Around here first. All right, let's trim out the bottom there. And we'll get this guy popped into there. Alright. Remember, when we pull up to release it from the mat, I'm going to do so gently. Firmly but gently. This bit of grass worked into here. Alright, and we've got another bit of fluff here, but he's getting a little small. So let's see if we can get him tapped into here. Gonna cover a little bit of our shrub, but you know what, that's okay because we know he's there. Just kind of blend in a bit. We can still see him. Okay. You don't have to do the brushing down part on the back, it's just something I like to do. Let's go ahead and rotate our mat there. All of these fuzzy guys here. Alright, gonna stretch for just a second. And check out our weather here. Oh, it's getting closer. At least they don't have us in any kind of well, no, maybe I should turn the option back on the map. Oh, wow. Holy shit, look at all those tornado warnings. Oh my god. Louisiana. Please. And Texas. On the border there, please pay attention. That was shocking because there wasn't any there a few minutes ago. Alright, we're starting to get some little bits and pieces of the one band. Up in, looks like Fayetteville and to our south, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay. Alright, we need to mix some more green here, or more grass, excuse me. Alright. So this is our grass green. And this is our forest green here. Probably add a little bit more of that. Actually, I feel like I kind of skimped out on the grass green too. So there we go. And then we need a little bit of our hunter green too. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and pick back up with our grass here. I was undecided if I was gonna add a big shrub over here. I'm still a little undecided about it. Like, it kind of almost feels like we need something. But at the same time, I kind of wanted that side a little more open. Although, I mean, that means that side's going to be a little bit heavier. But I don't think we really have to if we don't want to. And I kind of don't want to. Kind of want to leave this side a little bit open. Okay. Go ahead and we'll trim that guy off. Gently, gently. Okay. I think for one of these, I might attempt to do something a little more 3D. Maybe. I don't know if we're going to attempt it on the last one. But maybe we can attempt that on a different one we do. Oh, let me mute for a second here, you guys. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, you guys.
Kind of expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. We've been fighting with this for a while, but he was starting to do better, and I was like, oh, good, we've got it under control now, and do we need more food?
I already got a bit more, and I ordered more.
Alright. That was just the vet calling us back about the dog. Things took an unexpected turn over the weekend. And we just cannot seem to get his issue sorted. I mean, he was stealing his brother's crunchies.
Oh, shit. I wonder if that didn't help.
I don't know how much he had of it, but...
Still.
Zuzu's gonna have to learn to eat so we can take it up. I thought he only had like a mouthful. He had stopped eating it, so I didn't think he'd be interested in it. And then that one day when we were cleaning the pigs, he was like sneaking a bite and looking at you. In fact, if his crunchies are still down, you need to go pick them up. All right. Let's see. So I think next Sunday we will probably be just down to putting finishing touches on this guy and you know, attaching our hanger and everything. And then we might start the test sketch, layout sketch, for the last tutorial. Maybe. If not next Sunday, then definitely next Monday. But yeah, I think as soon as we finish up this series, we're going to be diving into Christmas gifts. Because this one took us, let's see, we're in part 14 today. If we do 2 a week, 12 is 6 weeks, so yeah. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do about Christmas gifts. Okay. Oh, they're saying rain in about an hour, but it's already starting to move into our area. So we'll see about that, Windows 11. We will see. We've been in this bubble of dryness for so long. Bring on the rain. We had a little bit of rain the other night. Didn't last for very long, and then when it finished, you could hardly tell it had rained. Which was really distressing because we really need the rain. Okay. Trim up that. And we'll get this next row put into here. I am going to try to smooth that down a little bit there. I'm curious to see what things look like when we take the tape off. I know that side got a little rambunctious, but I also didn't have the tape completely straight. That was my fuck up. But we'll see if it helped. At least a little bit. And this is also our thicker felt. So we'll see how this goes. This was the only piece I had of it. So, you know, we'll see. probably 2 more bits in here. We'll get that put into there. Hold on 1 second. Alright, sorry about that, guys. The vet just called us back and was like, you know what, we just had a cancellation. Can you bring him in the next hour? And we're like, sorry, what? Like, we can, we just want to make sure we have this right. Alright, let's go ahead and we will trim this. And we'll get everybody attached on up into here from where we just trimmed. Okay. So then maybe about there. I'm going to get along the edge of our tape. I don't necessarily want to be felting through the tape. That wouldn't do anybody any good. Like, we don't need bits of tape in there. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll trim that carefully so we don't cut our project. And we will get that. Alright, we're looking pretty good there along that seam. Okay. So we've got this little tiny guy. Let's see if we can get him anchored about there. So just made a little bit of a V shape. Might have been a little long for there, but it's all right. it'll be okay. Have it kind of hanging over the pathway a little bit. And that'll be all good in there. Alright, now we do have a little bit of a thin spot that revealed itself as we were putting the grass in there. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of it with our next round of grass here. It'll be okay. Alright, so we need some, got some of our hunter green down. Get a bit of our forest green there. Of course it's going to be like thundering and lightning by the time you have to take him. Get a little bit more of our dark green fluff here. And we will pull that out into there. Okay. A little bit of water. All right. Okay. So I'm thinking next shrub is gonna like sit like somewhere in here. So I think we need to do another row of grass maybe. Well, I figure out exactly where we are going to sit that. So in the meantime, let's see about getting this section of grass in place. While we attempt to think about this, let's put our thinking caps on here. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure I bring that up over that thin line that opened up, that tiny gap. And then that should cover it. And then we don't have to worry about that. All right. So we'll get this guy worked into there. Oh, Oh, I didn't put our reference sketch back up. I knew I was missing something here. Oh, nope, that's not it. Where is it? Is this it? That's it. That was something we were showing on Saturday's stream. All right. So we'll get this next bit here. And this is just going to be as much tapping in as you prefer to your attached preferredness, really. Now I know in the test sketch we did, I had all of the shrubs lined up pretty much touching each other. I just wanted to do something a little bit different once we actually got in here. Okay. So we've got a little bit more of that split area to cover here. And we'll get this put into here. So we've got a little bit of brown poking through on this side, and that's okay. That's kind of the reason why we put it there, just in case the way things lined up, there would be some like dirt patches showing through, and that's all right. You know, not every area of tall grass is gonna be completely covered. There could have been animals that trumped through there that mushed it all down. Could have been people trumping through there that mushed a section down. Maybe that section just didn't get any grass to take root there for whatever reason. You know? Don't sweat it. why we covered our butts a bit and put that brown down there. Because if we hadn't, then we would have the gray of our base felt shining through. Now that could be problematic. So I know it seemed a little excessive since we were going to be covering it up anyway, but because we didn't know where it could potentially shine through, that's why we covered it. Now if you didn't want to do that step, you would just have to pack your grass a bit tighter and make sure that you didn't have any gaps, which is doable. I have done it before on other pieces in this series where I skipped putting the dirt section in. You just have to be a bit more thorough with making sure that you don't have any gaps forming. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think we'll get this row of grass in. And then we'll figure out that next shrub, which I'm thinking about in here. And then the very, very last shrub we'll probably do over here somewhere. Alright, we can probably get one more out of this before we have to do our... let's see how that's gonna go first. V is going to be kind of long if we do it on this next one now. Alright, so maybe one more, and then we can do our V shape here. So we work on getting this grass in front of our lake put in. Now I did change the color of the grass from the sketch to this. The other color just wasn't feeling right, and I wasn't happy. So we ended up bringing it a bit darker, and that's okay. I think it worked out a little bit better in the end there. Okay, so I'm going to try to get the bottom of our V here first. Alright, let's see if we can fan out our fluff. Alright, not too bad. What time do you need to leave? Like 2:30?
I've got an alarm set just in case.
Okay. Alright. I'm going to turn our mat here. We haven't turned him for just a little bit. Oh, caught my wire again. Okay. We're not doing too bad here. Alright, so we do need to make some more grassy colors here. So let's see. I am going to roll this slightly, just because that bit was kind of falling apart on us. Alright, and I believe we need to get some more forest green fluff out of our bag. A little bit more there. No, not that much. You stay over there. Alright, little bit of water. on the fingers, just so we can get this all snaked together here. Wow, Windows 11, you're being awfully dramatic. Rain coming in 39 minutes. The countdown begins. Earlier it was 2.5 hours. Then it was in an hour. Now we're down to 39 minutes. Dun dun dun. Like, this is being awfully dramatic. Considering it's already starting to rain in our area slightly. At least we're not in the tornado watch. Oof. That tornado watch has got so many tornado warnings in it. But you know, landfalling tropical systems is gonna happen. Since they're so used to spinning, we're gonna have spin-ups. I thought I said no to this. I guess I didn't. It kept giving me the same song. It's starting to annoy me. How's your toe?
Not bad.
So
Chilled out after a little bit.
So it might have just been a blister.
Yeah.
Maybe you had rubbed the edge of the sandal.
Maybe.
Crunch. What'd you do? Oh, there's a big old thin spot right there. Have to make sure we get that covered up in the next row. But I figured that would happen because I wasn't like super specific in getting the brown down. But that won't be noticeable by the time we get our grass all in and our shrubs, and we'll be good. Okay. That's not looking too bad. Alright, let's see. Can we fan this out enough? that tucked in along the edge there. Right. Awful lot of loud trucks going by all of a sudden. That's a little strange. Okay. So, brush that all down. Okay. Now, I'm gonna see about figuring out where our next shrubby's gonna go here. So maybe about here-ish. Just putting in the dark shadowy bits of our shrubby guy. Oh, the wind's picking up. Oh boy. Maybe we should have brought them in. We weren't not under any high wind warnings though. They were more concerned about how much rain we were gonna get. I did plug my flashlight in to top off the charge on it, just in case. I mean, after seeing how many people lost power in Texas, although they got the brunt of the system, and I don't think it's anywhere near as ferocious as when it made landfall, and sorry Texas, but it is you. And your power grid has not been the most reliable based off of past storms, tropical or winter. If I lived in Texas, I would definitely have solar panels. Although with hurricane, I don't know if they would have survived it, but might be worth the investment there. Oh my. I hope I have Mongo and Mingo secured enough out there. Mongo would be my 5-foot tall flamingo statue that's made out of metal. This is turning into quite the interestingly shaped shrub here. We'll see how this one continues to go. Okay. That wind chime's kicking, man. They're having a grand old time out there. I also have these spinners. They kind of look like they're in a corkscrew shape. Except, we had bought this, like, netting, this garden netting for the, cucumbers to climb. So we weren't sure how we wanted to trellis them this time. Except they climbed up the trellis and decided, oh, hey, look, there's this long dangly thing. We can climb up that too. So, they're holding one of those hostage and won't let it spin now. And now there's a cucumber hanging off of part of it, and I'm like, oh. Okay. I guess. The cucumbers have claimed the spinners as theirs now. At least for the remainder of the growing season. Our peas died. The heat got them. There was no saving them. We tried. But we did manage to get them to grow, and the ants weren't destroying them. So we might try green beans again. We have a lot more bees this year than we have previous years, which is kind of fascinating. Just trying to make sure that that's all attached in there. It feels like it. Okay, so this one was supposed to be, I think, our snap crackle pop. Nope, not that color. Is this it? No. There it is. Oh, man, all the joints are popping. What the heck? Where did he go? I hope he's not in the shower. Give me 1 second. See if he actually gets my message. He may or may not. He's got his phone set to a slight delay. Sometimes he gets my messages quickly, sometimes he doesn't. Alright, so grab some of our glorious gold color. Sometimes he does take his phone in the shower, but he hasn't answered me yet, so this might not be one of those times. may have to go and check on him. Alright, I need to get up and stretch for a second. Anyhow, I will be right back. I'm just going to put the puppy body message up, and we're going to run an ad real quick. I will be right back. Wow. I got him out of the shower just in time. That's where he was. He's like, oh, I didn't get your message. I'm like, yeah, I figured. He's like, I didn't know there was lightning in the area. I was like, yeah, I know. I tried to tell you, but you didn't see my message, so. I'm gonna quick run outside to check the mail real quick, because our mailbox isn't the most watertight. Well, it wouldn't be so bad, but our mail carriers don't always close our mailbox tight, because it's a little tough to close tightly. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have any mail out there before the storm really set in. It's starting to mist a bit out there too. The one younger cat that has appeared, that we don't know if the adult female that's been hanging around has taken him under her supervision, or if and younger by, like, I mean, he's like maybe a year old, if that. If that. Or if it's her kitten. We don't know. Like, her adult kitten. But he's been hanging around. She doesn't seem to mind him. She doesn't see him as a threat. He was out there on the porch, kind of tucked under a chair on an old chair pad that we had thrown under there for the female. But this one's decided he lives on our porch now. We don't know where he came from. He just showed up. Don't know if he's gonna stay through the thunderstorm. The couple times that he has vanished off the porch, he's been hiding in the overgrownness of our backyard. Or in the neighbor's yard. But we'll see. He took the dog to the vet. So we're gonna see how that goes. Kind of concerned. I've been concerned since over the weekend, when things changed, and I'm like, we should be worried about that. And he's like, well, what day is it? I'm like, it's Saturday. And he's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, our vet's not open on Saturday. And we hate going to the secondary vet, because they are way more expensive. And husband's like, well, he's done this before. Let's wait and see what happens. And he goes, if, you know, things seem to be doing the same thing come Monday morning, we'll do another potty sample up to the vet, and we'll let them do an analysis on it, and we'll see what happens. And they called back, and they're like, so the vet's a bit concerned about the test results. I'm like, oh shit. Are you sure he hasn't been eating anything else except this food? And we're like, well, we ran out of the special food for a couple of days. So there was like maybe 2 days he was on the not special food. And then I said to the husband after he got off the phone, I'm like, wasn't he in his brother's dry food the one day? He goes, oh shit. He goes, I wonder if that's what did it. And I was like, maybe, but now they want to do an x-ray because they're afraid that there's a blockage. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm a little bit more apprehensive on this visit. A little bit more concerned. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I need that mustard yellow back. Wait, do we want to do... No, we want the... We want the more yellowy one, actually. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with this one. So it did thunder a minute ago as we were coming back from my little tiny quick step away break. And the rain was definitely moving in, and I think Windows 11 was a little off on their timing. Maybe not by a tremendous amount, but by a little bit. At the very least. I'm actually glad Suzu was napping with my mom, because he tends to get very upset if brother leaves the house without him. So thankfully, he didn't realize brother left. And I say brother because they are actual brothers, not like this is a collie and this is a Great Dane. No. They are literally brothers. They're from the same litter. Alright. So, let's see. This one. Now I feel even worse about having had to get that expensive ass pillow yesterday. I really didn't want to spend the money on it. The husband's like, no, you need it. And I'm like, but the money. I don't have to have this pillow. I can just keep fighting with the other one. It was just a bad night. He goes, no, you need the pillow. So let's see about getting this next bit in here. Where's our edge here? I guess about there. Alright, so we'll get that kind of fanned out a bit. And this This is the next bit of grass going in. Alright, so I'm gonna snip that. I can definitely hear the traffic being louder. It must be raining a lot harder now. I had that one rumble of thunder. Ow. Is that gonna be it for the thunders? I wonder. I guess we'll see. Ko-fi-bot's doing Ko-fi-bot things. Oh, it's the first time I realized Ko-fi-bot hadn't done anything yet. Ko-fi-bot, did your timing get changed? Because you were going like every half hour. And that's been more than a half hour. Unless there's some chat issues. Because it did say welcome to the chat again to me. That particular spot liked our fluff a little too much. Okay. Yay, rain. My elephant ears will be ever so delighted. Probably the cucumbers too. Because I'm not sure how much we've actually been watering lately. The husband's been watering. And he doesn't soak them as much as I do. And the cucumbers have just exploded out there. We lost one because we didn't know it was there. In the mess of cucumber leaves everywhere. So yeah, I think next week we'll be putting that tree in. That's supposed to be hanging out over here. And trimming off our edges and cleaning everybody up. More than likely. As much as I wanted to finish this guy today and just be done with it, it's 2:40 now. I would have to run to almost 6 o'clock probably to finish it. And I don't have that kind of time today. because I have to make us dinner. Hindsight, I probably should have put the grass in before I put the shrub in, but that's okay. I usually try to. But my brain is distracted now. Okay. Oh, lightning nearby. Oh, thank you. I kind of suspected when it thundered a little while ago. But thank you for confirming that, Windows 11. Okay. It's kind of funny. So like I've said before, we live in a community that used to be more like farm fields and stuff and undeveloped land, and you know, a few pockets of neighborhoods and shit. And slowly the farmers are selling off their fields and things, and they're putting in more and more housing developments and neighborhood communities with the cookie cutter houses that are kind of creepy, where they all look the same. And I saw somebody post on one of the numerous, and I do mean numerous, town Facebook page groups that they run. Anywhere to get a mani-pedi around here? I said to the husband, I'm like, I'm sorry, do you not see the cows? There's still cows around here. I mean, this isn't that kind of town. You're gonna have to go 20 minutes outside of town, maybe 30 minutes to the big city. For that? Like, what? I mean, some farriers around, but don't think that's what you had in mind. I was just so thrown off by the question. I'm like, the fuck now? I mean, there is a hair salon. I don't know what they have for nail care there. It just caught me so off guard. I'm like, I'm sorry. We are in cow country. And chicken country. There's some more thunder. It's still going. That's gonna wake Suzu up. Suzu's not a huge fan of the sky rumbling. He didn't used to be too bothered by it until my mom moved in. And my mom hates thunderstorms. And now he's terrified of the thunderstorms. Excuse me. I'm just happy we're getting some rain. They were starting to impose water restrictions up in Fayetteville. For what days of the week and what times people were allowed to water their lawns. We don't water our grass. We just water our vegetables and my plants that we only have out there this time of year because it's the only time that they grow. I would have them out there year round if they would grow year round. But alas, while we have had some warmer winters, it's not warm enough for them to grow year round. We do have snow from time to time. We almost ended up getting a air conditioner for our window because it was so goddamn hot in here that we were reaching our breaking point. But we had a long talk about it, and then we decided to hold off for the time being. But we haven't completely ruled it out yet. Like, we're trying not to run up the electric bill, and doing that would run it up. And then we were like, well, what if we just run it in the evening when we're going to bed? And I'm like, maybe, but it's still gonna run it up. And he's like, well, we're already running it up with the fans. I'm like, but not as much. Like, the Energy Star fans don't take as much power as a whole ass air conditioner. So we went and priced them. And decided to hold off for right now. Because the obnoxiousness of the multi-day heat advisory of feels like in the triple digits calmed the fuck down for the time being. So we'll wait that out. Like, I really didn't want to get one for in here, even though it was so hot in here with the house AC running in our room. My brain was melting the one night. I was like, oh my god. Why? Okay, so we are about here-ish. So yeah, so I got the paint markers in for the project for when we're done our flamingos. Our flamingo painting on Saturday. Okay. That should be okay there. And let's see, I just want to make sure we're not under any weather advisories, and we're not. We're still looking okay. All right. So let's see here. Let's go for this row here. Okay. So how's everybody doing today? Everybody doing all right? I hope so. See, we took care of that one thin spot in there. Pretty good. We've got another small one. I'm not surprised. Okay. So getting this popped into here. So this process of doing grass is a little bit slower. But at the same time, I think it looks a little more grass-like than doing it a different way. And it is a little bit faster than taking each color and putting it in separately. A little bit faster. So we'll get this guy popped into here. And gently, gently, gently pull that up. do I want to take this all the way? I guess we should. Be a little more even that way. Alright. So just want to get all the little sections that we just snipped off all tucked in there, just to make sure that we are in fact well and secured. Alright. We have to figure out where that other shrub is going to go. I'm thinking maybe right in here, closer to the bottom, so we're gonna have to get a bit more of our grass attached here before we put that in. Rain's coming down pretty good now. Can hear all the cars sloshing as they're going by. Drink up, plants. Drink up and have a grand day. Hopefully the humidity's going down a bit. Because that was no good when we went outside with the dogs earlier. That was a bit much. Alright. Let's do another snippy snip. Had this dream, like, we never got our water bill this month, so we had to go down there because the date was coming due, and if you don't pay it by a certain day, it's like immediately cut off, and then you have to pay a reconnection fee, like to the minute. But we never got the bill, so husband went down there this morning because I think today might have been the due date. We're like, yeah, we never got our bill, so we paid that. But I had this dream that he went down to pay it and they told us that we owed more than what the bill was, and we're like, what are you talking about? How can we owe more than what the bill is? And they were giving us a really hard time about it, and they're like not telling us how much more we owed them, and then they wouldn't sell us the trash bags that we needed because we still owed them money. And I'm like, but we just paid you. It made no sense. Probably just my anxiety coming out because we have to sign up for a trash bag plan every year. And for some reason, even though we're on the largest trash bag plan they have, we usually have oodles of boxes of extras when it comes December. For some reason, this year we did not. We have 6 boxes left. And I'm like, excuse me? what do you mean we have 6 boxes of trash bags left for the year? Where'd all the trash bags go? And I'm like, you know, when your mom and aunt are here, they go through an obscene amount of trash bags for 2 people in an RV. I'm like, no. I was like, we're not going to make it to the end of the year. We're going to have to unload the trailer. We never did our spring cleaning this year either. We're going to have to unload the trailer and either do our spring cleaning so that they will haul it all away, or take it to the dump and haul it all away. But then we have to pay $10 minimum for every run we do there. And I don't want bags of trash for raccoons and possums and shit to rip open sitting on our trailer until we do a dump run. So I'm all sorts of mad. Which is what we're gonna have to do. Or we're gonna have to buy a couple more trash cans and lash them to the trailer to put the bags of trash in to keep stuff from ripping them open in between runs to the dump. And I'm like furious. They offer trash cans for the city, so you don't have to buy the bags. However, if you have more trash than will fit in the trash can, you can't sit it next to it. They won't take it. They'll only take what's in the can. And you're renting the can, basically. You're buying the can with a flat fee, and then you're paying monthly extra, more than the cost of the trash bags, for them to dump the cans. And I'm like, someone make this make sense, please. On top of what we already would be paying for trash services. I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? Make this make sense. The place that we're looking to maybe plant our asses in a few years, you have to have a specific trash can with like the metal bar on it so the trucks can pick it up. And there's something about a cart available that you can get that I don't really understand what they mean by cart. Do they mean like a mini dumpster? I don't know. I don't understand what they mean by cart. And that has a flat fee and a monthly fee on it, but it didn't seem like the trash can had a extra fee on it once you bought it. And it also looks like you don't have to have specific city stamped named trash bags. You do have to pay, what was it? I think $17? No, $90 for a year for recycling pickup. I'm okay with that, because that's for the year. That's fine. And I think that has to be in a specific recycling bin as well. That's fine. I understand that. Our city's trash service, I don't understand it. At this point, I fucking give up trying to make sense of this. Oh, is that why the end of that is so chewed up? I couldn't figure out why the end of this finger protector was so flaky and looked like it had been through the war, because that's the side I keep stabbing into occasionally when I miss. That makes sense. I see now. And then we were starting to get into a slight argument with them at the water department's office. We're like, hey, we have a question. And they're like, okay. We're like, why are the meter readers leaving the water meter covers upside down? They're like, huh? We're like, are they doing it on purpose? For a specific reason that we don't know or understand? And they're like, what are you talking about? And we're like, for the past 3 months, every time they've checked our water meter, because there's a little metal cover and it's down in the ground, they have to lift up the lid, read it out. Whenever they put the lid back down, they're putting it on upside down. And the upside down part of the lid has these like deathly triangle things, like these blades like sticking up from it. And when we pull in our driveway, sometimes, you know, if you pull in just so, you're going to hit the cover on the water meter. We're going to shred a tire. Why are they doing this? We've had to fix it ourselves like 3 or 4 times now. And they're like, I don't know, they shouldn't be. The month after we talked to the water department, they did it again. And this month they didn't. So I'm like, did they even check our meter this month? Usually we hear them when they're checking it, because they yell, the dude checking it yells to the person in the truck writing down the numbers. Apparently. But we were getting really mad. We're like, look, these tires on this car are like barely a year old. If I lose a tire or damage my vehicle because of how you're putting the cover back on these water meters, we're gonna have a problem. Because we don't know what day they come specifically to check ahead of time. Don't know why I'm being given some of these songs. Okay, that's fine. Nope. Oh, are we gonna miss most of the thunderstorms? We're in like a swath of rain right now. Sorry, with all those tornado warnings popping up further down in Louisiana, I want to keep an eye on that. I think we're a little too far north to get a piece of it in that regards. Because I think by the time it's getting up to us, it's losing its spinniness. But I'd rather keep an eye on it, just to be on the safe side. Don't really want to be caught off guard. Okay. Get that all brushed down there. Alright, so we're not doing too bad here. This is the slow part, basically. Might have pulled a little too much. We'll see. That's not so bad. I don't want to mix too much, because I'm not going to be able to keep this fluff in usable condition for an entire week and keep track of it. Because I can guarantee you one of the cats will find it and they'll be like, hey. Well, now Ko-fi Bot's showing up every half an hour again. Fascinating. Okay. Let's start twisting everybody together. All right. So, oh, hold on, you guys. The husband messaged me. If I can find my keys. Nope. Okay. Pupper's getting the full treatment at the vet, apparently. They're doing x-rays and blood work. Oh boy. Well, hopefully we can get to the bottom of what the problem is now. Like, the vet was like, oh yeah, you know, a month on this food should get his pH back down. We're like, okay. He's been on that food and only that food for 2 months now, maybe 3 at this point. We got his pH close to being to what it was, like maybe half a point off. And we're like, okay, we're good. And then it started all over again, and I'm like, they were saying a month. It's been like 3. What the fuck? So I was telling the husband, it's like, something else is going on. Something's not right with the pupper. And he's getting tired of being on this food that we're giving him, so like, we need to get this figured out. Oy vey. Alright. Hopefully we get to the bottom of it. Though I am glad that they were able to squeeze him in today. So otherwise we were going to have to wait until Wednesday. And that wouldn't have been so great. I'm kind of surprised it only thundered like twice. Maybe 3 times. There's definitely little lightning bolts around us. now it's just gonna kinda rain, I guess. My radar map is lagging behind though. Last scan it was showing me. Really? Now you're not gonna show me the rain? Right. Is the radar struggling that hard? Looks like it. We'll have to go somewhere else. I'm gonna have to go to WeatherBug instead. I wonder if one of the local radar returns got hit by lightning. I think the closest radar area for our area is either the one in Fort Smith or the one in NOLA. But you really don't get the option to switch which radar you're looking at on the local peon side of it on our news website. Like the weather guys can, but we can't. In fact, the local news weather station that we tend to watch the most has been struck by lightning several times. Like, you all need some more lightning rods around that joint or something. Cause that's getting a little silly. It's the amount of times they've been struck by lightning. They had to put in like backup generators and all of the things. Okay. Alright, so how's everybody doing this afternoon? You guys doing alright? I hope so. Say, hopefully. Yeah, that radar's just giving up the ghost. There ain't nothing there. Or the website's down. Alright, let me try to grab a WeatherBug here. Let's see. I'm going to be kind. Why are we under 3 advisories? Oh, lightning and a flood watch. There we go. And that's what I would like to see. Okay. That's better. So yeah, how is everybody doing? Did anybody have to deal with the hurricane, tropical storm, depression? Anybody else dealing with it currently? Did you deal with it overnight? I feel like they've used the name Beryl before, years ago, and I know they'll recycle a name. Names aren't necessarily retired on storms unless they were rather catastrophic. Like, I think they retired the name Andrew. I think. They may have... They probably retired Katrina. I don't know for certain. Probably Harvey. Alright, we are putting our grass in. We've got one more shrub to put in over here, but I'm gonna put the base of it probably, maybe like here. So we have a little ways to go before we can get to that yet, and we still have a tree to put into here. We won't be finishing it today. We will be wrapping it up on Sunday next. I was originally planning on wrapping it up today, but I had to cancel unexpectedly yesterday because reasons. That involved us having to go a couple towns over to do an emergency pillow hunt. Which was not my ideal idea of fun, and definitely wasn't on my list of things to do yesterday. I was not pleased. Husband was kind of insisting that we go. I was like, I don't know about this. I was like, what about the money? And now I own the most expensive pillow I've ever owned in my life. I was able to sleep last night though. I did wake up a few times, but I think that's just because I'm getting used to this new surface that I am sleeping on, which is very different. I will say I have never slept on a surface that's felt like that before. Kind of feels like you're laying on a platform of stiff jello. That's the only way I can describe it. It's jiggly but firm. Pillow's kind of heavy too. I think it's like 5 pounds. So between my neck being pissy and by the time we finally got home and situated, it was already like just about 2. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this today. He's like, then don't. So we canceled. And while my neck is slightly sore today, it's not necessarily sore in a bad way. So here's to hoping this pillow will be worth it. We were also looking at the prices of their mattresses. Oh my god, you guys, we found a store that they walked in, They said, do you need any help with anything? We're like, we're just looking for this. They told us where it was, and they left us the fuck alone while we were thinking about what we wanted to do. It was glorious. They checked in on us once to see how we were doing, and then walked away. We're like, we're getting closer to a decision. We're narrowing things down. It was fantastic. I had never experienced that before. The last time we went into a furniture store, we had somebody dogging our steps every step of the way, not giving us any breathing or talking space as we talked things through. And I wasn't real thrilled with that. Gotta be honest. Like, this is not a decision that I can rush, and I don't need somebody, like, hanging over me. Be like, oh, did you make a decision yet? No, I'll let you know if I need you. Or if I've decided to purchase something. Or if I have a question, I will come to you. In the meantime, back off. And the other salespeople were busy with somebody else that was actually purchasing a mattress. We did look at their mattresses. The ones from the company I was considering, I did not know how much they were. After seeing them in the store, I'm like, oh god, and the husband's like, yeah, but if they're good, it's worth it. And I'm like, they're so expensive. I've never spent this much money on a bed in my entire fucking life. I was like, I don't know about this. He goes, yeah, but we're already talking about getting a pod or a U-Pack box when we go to move, so it's not like we'd have to leave it behind. We'd be able to take it with us. Like, I guess. But we didn't really mattress shop too hard yesterday. We were just looking at them briefly. That's not really what we were there for. All right. I don't know if we'll be doing a bonus stream this week. Kind of depends on how I'm feeling. We'll see what happens with that. I kind of need to get another couple of paintings recorded, so I might just record when the other brushes show up. So we might skip bonus painting this week, or bonus stream. Okay, so we've gotten to our last little bit of grass here. So we're going to make our little V. And let's see, we're going to tuck you right in there. Going to anchor the bottom. Ooh! We're going to not stab ourselves through our finger protector. We're going to try to anchor the bottom of our little V shape here. And we'll get that attached all up into there. Got some loose fuzzes on our walkway here. I just want to see if I can get those cleaned up a bit. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. It depends. Sometimes those fine little hairs are a little bit harder to get attached, so we might just have to trim some of those if they don't want to cooperate. Alright. Almost got this guy attached to my liking. Almost. Okay. Alright, let's gently peel that up. And we'll see where we're at. Alright. So here's what I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna stop there for today. And on Sunday, we will pick back up, finishing our grass and getting our last shrub in, putting the tree in, and then trimming everything up. I will try to start a little bit early next Sunday so we can get all of that done, which sets us up for next Monday working on our sketch for the last tutorial in this series that we're going to be following along with. So I think that's going to be our plan for right now, and then that gives me time next week to get some fluffed, get our bags refilled. So I think that's what we're going to do. So schedule this week should be, migraine permitting, mind you, it should be Thursday Coral Island, Friday Planet Zoo, Saturday we will be working on our flamingo painting still, and Sunday trying to wrap this guy up. We're almost there. Almost there. We've got one tree, one shrub, and a little bit more grass. And then I'll make sure I have the glue gun pulled out and our jute so we can attach our hangy guy. I already have him all painted up. And then we'll just, you know, kind of attach him up at the top there. These sides will get trimmed off, the bottom will get trimmed off. And then we'll be looking pretty good, I think. And then we'll have another one in the books. So that's the plan for this week going forward. Hope everybody has a good week and stays safe. And until next time, you guys, have a good one.